Peace and power to the true and living. What's good, fam? It's seed born, I see for son, and I am you. Yo, I'm excited to welcome you to the next class of Grail University. And in this class, we are going to be going over the lecture Silence. That's right, fam. We're going to be talking about the power of silence, all in efforts to, awaken the intuitive perception of the human spirit, so that we can navigate, you know, and guide ourselves out of this darkness, this deception that is so deep, incredibly deep and multi-layered, you know what I mean? And it's very difficult to swim your way out of this without the proper knowledge of creation, without the truth of creation, without the understanding of the laws that created and governs, creation. So this is one of the reasons why the Grail message is so important for humanity, and why great sacrifices were made to bring us this knowledge. I mean, damn it, we're in a spiritual war. You know what I mean? We are in a spiritual warfare. World War III is happening right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's happening on so many levels. You know what I'm saying? It's happening on so many levels. But anyways, I don't want to go. I don't want to go off on a tangent too much. Just want to give you a little bit of an intro. Now, let's get into this lecture, Silence. Silence. As you know, always, man, we always get incredibly deep with the Grail message. So it starts like this. When a thought suddenly strikes you, keep it back. Do not utter it at once, but nourish it, for it will condense through being retained in silence and gain strength like steam under counter pressure. You know what I mean? So in other words, our ideas, our thoughts, they grow when they're held in silence. You know what I mean? Let's get deeper into it. Pressure and condensation produces the quality of a magnetic activity in accordance with the law that all that is stronger attracts what is weak. Similar thought forms are thus attracted from all sides and retained, constantly reinforcing the power of your original thought, yet working in such a way that through the joining of other forms, the originally produced form is refined, changes, and takes on different shapes until it comes to maturity. You know what I mean? So this is explaining how, our ideas, how our thoughts, grow and mature and become stronger. You know what I mean? And this is talking about thought forms. If you've, been with us from the beginning, you'll notice that the message starts out talking about thought forms. You know what I mean? And this is something that a lot of people are not aware of. We're not aware of thought forms, but this is one of the many ways in which we are connected. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the many ways in which all humanity is connected. And this is one of the many ways in which we are creating the realities that we're living in. You know what I'm saying? But go have a conversation with the average person about thought forms. You know what I'm saying? They probably couldn't tell you much about it. You know what I mean? Because most people don't know about thought forms. Now, there is a lot of talks about the law of attraction and things like that, but a lot of the people who are talking about the law of attraction, either don't know what they're talking about, or they're not giving you they're not giving it to you in its depths. You know what I'm saying? They're just touching the surface, because anyone who's talking about the law of attraction should also be educating you, should also be explaining thought forms and how these things work. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been with us from the beginning, this is what it's talking about. And matter of fact, my book that I wrote is all dealing with thought forms. You know what I mean? So here it goes on to say, indeed, you sense all this within you, but you always think it is entirely your own volition. But you never give purely your own volition in any matter. There are always other influences as well. You know what I mean? So what this is talking about here is this. We always think that, like when you commit an act, you think that you were alone. You know what I'm saying? In the formation and expression of that act. When you invent something, when you come up with a new idea, you always think that you were alone in doing that, but that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Now, the original, the original seed must be planted by you, meaning that the original thought must be birthed within you. But once that thought is birthed within you, once you produce that thought, what I'm saying, it automatically is being attracted, what I'm saying, or it is attracting other similar thought forms and already growing and maturing. And the longer it is held in silence, the stronger it becomes. So when if a person who invents something, what I'm saying, they didn't invent that alone. You know what I'm saying? Their idea, what I'm saying, their thought form just went out there and borrowed, what I'm saying, and attracted other, similar ideas and thought forms and became stronger, what I'm saying, and eventually led to this invention. You know what I'm saying? When you commit an act, for example, when somebody commits a crime, that person was not alone in committing that crime. Of course, from our physical perspective, it appears that way, you know what I mean? But that person was not alone in committing that crime. That was a collaboration of many other thought forms of other human beings. You know what I'm saying? That finally led to, you know, this act being committed. Yes, it was committed through one person physically, but it didn't. It was a collaboration of many other human beings. You know what I'm saying? So in this way, we have put so many things out into creation that we're not even aware of. You know what I'm saying? So when the reciprocal effects come back and strike us, because whatever thought forms you produce always stay connected with you, and that consequence, that effect of that thought form is eventually going to come back and strike you, be it positive or negative, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? So we shouldn't always look at this in a bad way. It works both ways. You know what I'm saying? So this is the ways in which we are creating our fate. We are creating our realities. And when things come back and strike you, you know what I'm saying? When sometimes you just, find yourself, a blessing just falls into your lap. You know what I mean? And you think that, oh, that's coincidental, or that's just something that happened out of thin air. No, that was something that's an effect of something that you had put out in creation that you were not even aware of. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, it was something good that you put out, but it came back to you. You know what I'm saying? And it also works the other way. Sometimes when tragedy strikes you, you know, and we ask a question, why is God doing this to me? Why does good things happen to bad people? Da 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 da. Not realizing that we have put, the seeds for this out in creation long ago, whether we are aware of it or not, and it's just coming back to strike us. So this is how these things work. You know what I mean? So we are never alone. You know what I mean? We are creating. We all are participating in creating this reality that we're living in, you know what I'm saying? Creating this collective karma, this collective fate. You know what I mean? All right, let's move on. Now keep in mind we're just touching, you know, we're not reading the whole lecture. I'm never reading the whole lecture. This is why you have to go and read the message for yourself. I'm just touching on certain points and I'm giving it to you, based on my experience, based on how I understand them and so forth, you know what I mean? But you always got to read the message for yourself, man, because I can't say enough about it, man. You got to do the work for yourself. If you seek, you shall find. All right, moving on. So what does this process tell you? That only in the union of many elements can anything perfect be created. Created? Is that right? No, but formed. For there is nothing really new to be created. It is always only a matter of producing new forms, since all the elements already exist in a vast creation. You know what I'm saying? So when I first read this, it was incredibly humbling to me. You know what I'm saying? And it helped me understand a lot of things because the way we're brought up and the knowledge we're given, it kind of makes it seem like human beings are like the center of the universe. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we make ourselves greater than we are. You know what I'm saying? If just look at all the great things that human beings have been able to build and accomplish in this world. You know what I mean? We take that sometimes and develop in arrogance. You know what I'm saying? We develop a presumptuous arrogance. You know what I'm saying? Which never leads to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Which only leads us further away from the truth. And the truth is, we don't have the ability to create anything. And we have never created anything. You know what I'm saying? So for the people who want to, deny the existence of God, this is another thing that we need to consider. We have never created anything. And when you look at science, this is what they're trying to do right now with artificial intelligence and, with all the technology they have right now. They're trying to make God obsolete. They're trying to, you know, take this position as if man is a creator, as if man can create. We cannot create. All we have ever done was produce new forms by taking the because all the ingredients already existed. Everything we have ever produced, we produced by using things that already existed in God's creation. You know what I'm saying? These things were already out there. So no, we don't have the ability to create, and we never will have the ability to create. That remains with the Creator alone. All we have done is create forms. You know what I mean? So this is why we have to be very careful of, the mainstream scientific community, because of their complete lack of knowledge of creation, because of their complete focus on only what is physical. You know what I'm saying? It makes the mainstream scientific community very stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to be insulting, but it makes them stupid. You know what I'm saying? Ignorant and stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because they deny things just because they don't understand it and don't have the physical tools to explore it. Not everything can be explored by physical tools. The most important things have to be explored from within. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful of the mainstream scientific community, because there's a lot of efforts put in place to deny the existence of God. You know what I mean? A lot of efforts. Matter of fact, not too long ago, I put a post on social media, just pretty much saying that, we need to stop praying to the universe and stop thanking the universe for blessings in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because the universe did not create itself. The universe is what you know as the universe is just the material part of creation. And the material part of creation is the smallest part of creation. You know what I'm saying? So when you're praying to the universe, it's no different than when you're praying to a wooden image carved out of wood, or a stone statue. It's no different from that. It's idolatry. You know what I'm saying? Because the universe did not create itself. But because these days we're so ignorant of the knowledge of creation, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of people think that because they don't understand, the concept of God has been completely destroyed and distorted. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are just confused and don't even understand, God. You know what I'm saying? So as a result, they just a lot of them just deny the existence of God. But now you have this new woke, pseudo spirituality movement going on, to where everything is the universe. Oh, thank the universe for this, that, and the third. No, the universe did not create itself, and the universe is just one part of creation. So it doesn't make sense to be thanking the universe and praying to the universe. It's idolatry. You know what I'm saying? And then furthermore, going back to these atheist scientists, I used to watch a lot of these scientific debates, between these atheist scientists and these Christian apologists and things like that, just listening to the reasoning that they're using to refute and deny the existence of God. And at the end of the day, it just doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's just me, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody ever had to tell me that God existed. You know what I'm saying? I knew of God and I had a relationship with the Creator before I was even told about, the Creator, before we even started going to church. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, nobody ever had to tell me that a God existed. I was born knowing this. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just natural, and it is completely ignorant and stupid to assert that God doesn't exist. But then later on, I realized that, these atheist scientists who are working hard to refute and deny the existence of God, these motherfuckers are Luciferian. You know what I'm saying? Because one day I was looking over the Epstein flight log. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't looked at that, you need to go ahead and look at it, because all your favorite people are on there. You know what I'm saying? But I was looking over the Epstein flight log, and I see the names of some of these very same atheist scientists whose debates I used to watch, you know what I'm saying, trying to refute the existence of God. Then it all hit me. I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers, they know that God exists. They are aware of the existence of the creator, but they are Luciferians. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're over here trying to make you not believe in the creator, but they know that there is a creator. But the thing is, they are Luciferians, and they have believed the lies that Lucifer has sold to them. So even though they know of the existence of the creator, they don't understand the existence of the creator, and they actually think that Lucifer is actually more powerful and can overcome and overthrow the creator. You know what I'm saying? They believe that. They're fucking Luciferians. I realize that. You know what I'm saying? So while they're working hard to make you not believe in God, they believe in God. It's just that they prefer the devil. That's all it is. So once again, that takes me back earlier to the point I was making about this deception being so freaking deep and multi-layered, man. It's crazy. All your favorite people are, Luciferians. Whether they're doing it consciously or unconsciously, they're serving the freaking devil, man. Believe it or not, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, to me, it's just stupid not to believe in God, especially just with this one line in the message that really drove it home for me, because we can't create anything. All the ingredients already exist. You know what I'm saying? If to all those people who are worshiping the universe and thanking the universe and shit like that, if you are really listening to the universe, all the universe does is point to the glory of its creator. That's all it does. If you understand the language of the universe, that's all is telling us in more ways than one. It's the glory of the creator. You know what I'm saying? So if you're really listening to the universe, that's what it'll be telling you. It just goes to show, man, a lot of these motherfuckers, they don't know what they're talking about, and they're deceiving people. But don't take my word for it, man. I'm not any better. You know what I'm saying? Read the Grail message for yourself. That's why I always provide the link. You know what I'm saying? It's there. It's available for you. All right, moving on. All right, so let's move on to number 4. Union. Do not pass over this lightly, but try to become absorbed in the concept that maturity and perfection are achieved through union. The principle rests in all creation as a treasure that needs to be unearthed. It is closely related to the law that only in giving can there be receiving. And what is required to grasp this principle aright, thus to experience them, is love. Therefore, love indeed stands as the highest power, as unlimited might in the mysteries of the great life. Now, it's talking about perfection through union, but we're gonna come to that later. I want to talk about love. You know, as it says right here, love being the greatest power. You know what I'm saying? The highest might. You know what I mean? And I've been saying this in a lot of my videos, that love is all there is. You know what I'm saying? Love is the greatest power in creation. Matter of fact, I made a video titled "Love in the Raw." You know what I mean? But I want to make another point. I want to try to help to drive that home here with this. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the message, it explains to us the mystery of why goodness will always conquer evil. You know what I'm saying? Why love will always triumph over hatred. And the mystery is because there is only one power. You know what I'm saying? Everything that is done, everything that is created, everything that is formed is formed with only one power, and that is the power of the Creator. You know what I'm saying? And this power is neutral. You know what I'm saying? And this power is everywhere. It exists everywhere. So when people say that God is omnipotent, that God is everywhere, it is not the Creator himself who is everywhere. The Creator remains at the very highest. It is his power that is omnipotent, that reaches everywhere through our creation, that is within everything. You know what I'm saying? The very words that I'm speaking and the breath that I'm taking right now are being done with the power of the Creator. These plants behind me are growing with the power of the Creator. This cool breeze that I'm feeling right now that is blowing is being done with the power of the Creator. You know what I'm saying? So it's only one power that exists all through our creation. There's only one power that exists, period. And the source of this power is God Almighty, the Creator. That's the source of this power. Now, the reason why goodness always conquers evil, even though this power is neutral, the source of this power is God, the Creator. And God knows no evil. God is absolute love and goodness. You know what I'm saying? Evil is completely foreign to the Creator. You know what I'm saying? The Creator cannot do anything that is evil. You know what I'm saying? So this power, whenever it is being used for good, you know what I'm saying, it becomes stronger, because then it is being connected to its source, which is the Creator. This is why love is the most powerful force in existence, because the force of that love is the Creator. So as long as you're using love, you know what I'm saying, you'll always be more powerful than somebody who is using hate, because that love is connecting you to the source of all power, which is the Creator. However, whenever you're using the power for evil, you know what I'm saying, the power becomes weaker, because it is being taken further away from its source, which is God Almighty, the Creator. You know what I'm saying? And the Creator knows no evil. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing to understand for people who succumb so easily to evil and fall to evil. It just surprises me, because these Luciferians, they actually believe, you know what I'm saying, that the evil is greater than the light. They actually believe that the darkness is going to defeat the light, that their hate is going to defeat love. But it is utterly impossible. You know what I'm saying? This is why in the end, evil will always end up destroying itself. After it destroys everything else, it will end up destroying itself. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, evil is stupid. You know what I'm saying? When this power is being used for evil, it is being taken further and further away from this source. So it becomes weaker, it becomes dumber, it becomes blind, deaf. You know what I'm saying? That's why people who are evil are blind, deaf, and dumb. You know what I'm saying? And we all have this evil within us to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? But just know that if we stand firm in love and boldly stand up to this evil that is trying to conquer the world and conquer humanity, as long as we stand firm in love, it cannot defeat us. You know what I'm saying? But in order to truly stand firm in love, you first have to turn the mirror around and look at yourself and accept the truth about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And realize that you're not innocent in this, you're not perfect in this, that you have a lot of this evil within yourself, that before you can make any changes within the world, you have to eradicate some of this, you have to eradicate this evil from within yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's incredibly deep. But let's move on. Man, if I'm shivering and shit, that's because it's chilly, man. This breeze is chilly, but it feels good at the same time. I want to be out here. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, it says, A single individual cannot offer you perfection, but the whole of humanity, with all its varied characteristics, may do so. Each individual has something which is definitely a part of the whole. You know what I'm saying? And this is why one so far advanced as no longer to know any earthly desires, loves all mankind, not one individual, because only the whole of mankind can make the strings of its mature soul lay bare through purification and sound the chords of heavenly harmony. You know what I'm saying? So now we could talk about the union. We could talk about perfection through union, because this is what this is what this is talking about, right? The only way that we can achieve perfection in this world is through union. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things that humanity, that's one of the things that we were supposed to do. That was one of our purposes, you know what I'm saying, for being here in this material creation. You know, so we were supposed to come here to develop ourselves, and through that process of developing ourselves, we were supposed to further, you know what I'm saying, creation. We were supposed to spiritualize and bring greater perfection to the material part of creation. You know what I'm saying? And the only way we could do that is through union. We can achieve that perfection through union, because as it says right here, each and every one of us have something which is definitely a part of the whole. So each and every one of us is a unique and necessary ingredient in all this. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, what that means is we have to be very careful of, you know, this whole idea that exists in our societies of everybody want to be the same. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to be the same. You don't want to be like this person. Don't do that. Because when you're trying to be like somebody else, you're not only cheating yourself, you're cheating the entire creation, and you are hindering that perfection that we can achieve. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're trying to be like somebody else, you're completely ignoring the value, you know what I'm saying, and the necessity of that which you have to offer. And this is a part of the Luciferian deception. This is one of the reasons why they try to make us all one, try to make us all be the same. You know what I'm saying? Completely destroy in individuality. You know what I'm saying? Because then when we're all the same, what kind of perfection can we achieve? You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine a population of one? A population of one. What kind of perfection can you achieve? You know what I mean? Each and every one of us have something that is needed that contributes to the whole. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's so very important to know who we are. But a lot of us don't know who we are. And when you don't know who you are, then somebody else can come in and give you a false identity. You know what I'm saying? Or you can end up following somebody else who don't know who the hell they are, who's just following some kind of a false identity. We have to know who we are, because there is great value. There is unspeakable value within each and every one of us individually. You know what I'm saying? And we all have great things to offer to this creation. It is our obligation. These gifts were given to us so that we can come here and develop and express these gifts. You know what I'm saying? That's the greatest gratitude that we can give to our Creator, is to fully express these gifts, these powers, these abilities that He gave us, you know what I'm saying, in the way in which they were created to be used. That's the greatest thanks that we could give to our Creator, is being fully who we are. But we can't do that when we're all trying to be the same. You know what I'm saying? And we can't create a perfect world when we're all trying to be the same. You know what I mean? All right. All right, so It says here, always bear in mind, expressed according to our concepts, that all that is spiritual is magnetic, and you also know that the stronger always overcome what is weak through attraction, through absorption. In this way, from him that hath not, the weak one, even that which he hath shall be taken away. He becomes dependent. There is no injustice in this, but it takes place according to the divine laws. Man only needs to pull himself together and to will aright, and he will be protected from this. You know what I mean? Now, there's another point I want to make with that passage that I just read here, because that right there is talking about something that it touched upon earlier, and that was this. It says that it is closely related to the law that only in giving can there also be receiving. You know what I'm saying? This is a law that lies in creation, and this is one of the laws that a lot of us don't understand. You know what I'm saying? And because we don't understand it, we violate the laws. You know what I'm saying? So, like they say, it's better to give than to receive. You know what I'm saying? But there's an incredible depth in that I don't think a lot of us realize. Why is it better to give than receive? It's because it is a law. You know what I'm saying? So if you are, because what a lot of us do is that we're always looking to see what we can get. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna get from that? You know what I'm saying? What's in it for me? You know what I mean? These are the kind of questions we ask, as opposed to saying, what can I offer? How can I be of service? You know what I'm saying? Most of us, we come with the mentality of what's in it for me? What am I gonna get out of this? That's the perspective from which we come. You know what I'm saying? But if you understand the law of giving and receiving, you understand that it's better to be a giver than a receiver, because this is how it works. If you're coming from the perspective of, giving, what can I offer? How can I be of service? Then the laws will work in a way that it'll always put you in a position to be a giver, meaning that it'll always give you things so you can give, so you can continue to give. So the laws will continue to give to you. You know what I'm saying? So that you can continue to give, because that's who you are, because you come from the perspective of, what can I do? How can I be of service? You know what I'm saying? And when you genuinely always come from there, you will always be in a position to be able to give on to people, because the laws will continue to give on to you. Now, however, if you come from the perspective of, what's in it for me? What am I going to get out of this? You know what I'm saying? The laws are going to keep you in a position to where you always need something. You always need to receive from other people or from other sources outside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the perspective from which you're coming. You want to be a receiver. So the laws is going to make sure that you're always in that position to where you need to receive, as opposed to being empowered and strengthened to give. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of those things that slips the notice. We say it all the time, it's better to give than receive, but it's a lot deeper than we realize. The laws are literally always operating. You know what I'm saying? So as a giver, you'll always be in a position to be able to give more. And as a receiver, you'll always be in a position where you need to receive, where you need to be dependent on an outside source. You know what I'm saying? So for people who are homeless, this is one of those things that they need to realize. Even just because you're homeless, it does not change the operations of the laws. You know what I'm saying? It does not change the operation of the law. The law still operates. So even being homeless does not, free you from the obligation to give. You still have to be a giver. But the mistake that we make is that we always think that giving is about material things. Giving is about having money and having material wealth. No, it don't work that way, because if that was the case, then a lot of people will not be able to give. A lot of people will be exempt from giving. And that's never the case. You know what I'm saying? There are far more deeper and more powerful and important things that you can give on to someone than money or any material thing. You know what I'm saying? Render some service, give of your time. You know what I'm saying? Give some love. There's various ways to give love. You know what I'm saying? So that's another point I wanted to make, and that's what this is saying right here. So when a lot of people hear that, oh, that sounds cruel, and this is some of the reason why things like this are used for people who want to, you know, argue against the existence of a God, or to show that God is evil, and God and all kind of stupid shit like that. For people who want to take up those kind of arguments, they use shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand how the laws work. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, oh, it's not fair. How come things are being taken away from people who have nothing? They have nothing, and yet things are still being taken away from them. That's not fair. What kind of God is that? No, you don't understand how the laws operate. There's no injustice in that. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't understand the law, any passionate individual with a little bit of knowledge and enough cleverness to express that knowledge can, easily persuade you and have you going left as opposed to right. You know what I mean? But anyways, man, this video has gone long, and there's still a lot of stuff in here to touch on over the lecture silence. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to wrap it up here with a few points, because I don't want to make it too long. All right. So, you know what? Let me just do this. Let me just go ahead and take it to the end, because like I said, this video has gone a little longer than I anticipated, and I don't want to make it too long, so I'm gonna just take it to the end. But remember, as I always say, I'm just giving you bits and pieces. This is why you have to read the message for yourself, and what I'm giving you here is nothing compared to what you're gonna receive when you read it for yourself. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and wrap this up, because I want to relate some of my own personal experiences at the end of this. It says, but take comfort in the wise provision of the great creation. As you awaken, a path is also shown to you through that power of good volition, to which I have already called special attention, and which mitigates and entirely pushes aside the dangers of the karma that is taking effect. This too the Father Spirit has given into your hands. The power of good volition forms a circle around you, capable of disintegrating the evil pressing upon you, or at least of greatly modifying it, exactly as the atmosphere also protects the earth. But the power of good volition, this strong protection, is fostered and nourished by the power of silence. Therefore, I once more urgently exhort you, seekers, keep the hearth of your thoughts pure, and then above all, exercise the great power of silence if you wish to ascend. The Father has already endowed you with the strength for everything. You only have to use it. You know what I mean? So, as discussed earlier, this lecture is telling us about the power of silence. So when you think about things like thought forms, you know what I'm saying, how we are creating our fate, how we are creating our reality, you know what I mean? These things, I just completely lost my train of thought, what I was going to say. That happens from time to time. I just completely blanked out. Anyways, look, our ideas, our thoughts, they grow in silence. You know what I'm saying? There is so much that is available to us in this great creation. And as it says here, the Father has already given us everything. We only have to use it. But we cannot use that great power that we have if we don't know about it and we don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So this is once again why it's important to read the Grail message and come to the understanding of how these laws work. You know what I'm saying? And truly understand the power of silence and start putting that to good use. You know what I mean? Now I wanna share a story, you know what I'm saying, one of my many experiences with this power of silence. Now, growing up in Africa, and I don't really think it's Africa alone, but we live in a world where largely we grow up just being told to accept things and not really question anything. You know what I'm saying? You just accept what you're given and don't question it because it's right. And if you do question it, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hell and shit like that. So that's what we're told. So people ask me all the time when I speak to them and, share, some of my experiences and some of the knowledge of the Grail message and things like that. The one question that people always ask me is, man, how do you know? How do you know this? You know what I'm saying? It that's a question that I can't just say, oh, I read this in a book and that's how I know. No, it's a combination of many things. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it started when I was a kid back in Africa. I've always had these strong yearnings, these questions within me. Like I just always wanted to know, you know what I'm saying, about God, about creation. You know what I'm saying? I mentioned earlier that I had a relationship. I knew who God was before, I even started going to church and things like that. And because I always had this longing to know, and all these questions, these burning questions were always within me. And it started at a very early age. But the thing about, growing up in this society, when you're being told to accept everything you're given and don't question it, so as a kid, I was afraid to ask these questions. I was afraid to go and talk to people about these things, that was going on within myself. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, we were never, encouraged to question. And I felt like if I was to ask these questions or to try to express some of these things that I had within me, that I would be wrong. And people, the adults in my life would get upset at me and things like that. So I held these questions, these thoughts, these ideas, I held them all in silence for many years. And I was a very shy kid, you know what I'm saying? I was a shy and quiet kid. I didn't talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? So these things, you know, were nurtured in silence within me for many years. To eventually they led me to the right places, to the right sources, to where I was able to gain the answer to these questions and more. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, it led me to the Grail message. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, it led me to the Grail message. You know what I mean? Through which I was able to come to a complete understanding, you know what I'm saying, of all of this. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't even go as far as saying a complete understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a student, I'm always learning, you know what I'm saying? But I understand this stuff well enough to where I don't share the same confusion as most people. You know what I'm saying? At least most people that I come across, most people that I talk to, I don't share the same confusion. You know what I'm saying? So all in all, the point here is I got to this point. I was able to learn all these things. I was able to discover the Grail message because it all started in silence. These burning questions that I held within myself for so long that I couldn't talk to anybody about. You know what I mean? But eventually, through that power of silence, you know what I'm saying, it led me to all the right places, to all the right experiences and all the right sources, and ultimately to the Grail message. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's so important, man, to do this work for yourself, man. Like it says, if you seek, you shall find. Don't get caught up in the confusion of this world, this increasing confusion. Don't get caught up in these people who are trying to deny the existence of God, to lead you astray and things. Don't get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? It is all within you. Like it says in the message, the Creator, you know what I'm saying, the Father has already given everything that we need. It's just up to you to use it. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's important to get on this path of seeking, because once you start seeking, once you start really doing this work, you know what I'm saying, it's going to come to you. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, I got to go ahead and stop this video. You know what I mean? Because it's gone over time, as always. But anyways, man, click on the link, you know what I'm saying? Read the message, man. Click on the link. I always share the link in all my videos. Click on the link. It's going to take you straight to a page where you can read the message on your phone or on your tablet for absolutely free. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you read it in the proper order, or you can order the hard copy, you know what I'm saying? But the message is there, it's available to you. So at the end of the day, you can't say nobody told you. You can't say I didn't know. If you didn't know, it's your own fault. You know what I'm saying? At this stage, I really feel like the ignorance of the world is a willful ignorance. If you're ignorant, it is because you want to be. It's not because you have to be. You know what I'm saying? Because of the knowledge is here. You know what I mean? Also, man, go ahead and share the video, comment, like, and all that stuff, man, subscribe and all that, good stuff. If you find any value in this, man, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and help me do the work, get it out there, you know what I mean? So with that being said, man, peace and power to the true and living. It's a seed born, I see it for son, and I am you. You know what I'm saying? And remember, I am you is just a deeper way of saying I love you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you truly love someone, when you truly love humanity, you realize that you are that person. You know what I'm saying? So I am you. You know what I mean? Peace and power.
A special book which clearly answers the unsolved problems of human existence. The vast knowledge mediated in its pages leads the earnestly seeking reader who weighs and examines objectively out of all the chaos of present-day confusion and distortion to clear recognitions. This book commands attention by its forceful language, by the clarity of its thoughts, and by the setting right of distorted concepts, unmistakably and sometimes severely but irrefutably explained. The laws in which the entire creation came into being and exists are plainly set forth. The world happening is interpreted in its true significance, and man's responsibility before his God and his fellow men is revealed and explained. Thus, to him who opens himself to these recognitions is restored the indestructible inner security of his personality. For the seeking human being, the lectures of this work deal with all essential questions and spheres of life: natural sciences, ethnology, social and economic questions, religion and church, psychology and cultivation of the spirit, family and state, sex and sexuality, occultism and spiritualism, justice and law, knowledge and wisdom, the world, time and eternity, and lastly, the recognition of God. Whoever bears the desire for it living within him and is willing to make the effort will be helped to fulfillment by the work in the light of truth, the Grail message of Abu Shin. The author writes, I wish to fill the gaps which have so far always remained unanswered in the souls of men, and which never leave any serious thinker in peace, if he honestly seeks for the truth. With my message, I now open the book of creation for you. The message clearly shows you the language of God in creation, which you must learn to understand so that you can make it completely your own. The author recommends that the lectures of this work be read in sequence and not picked out individually, seeking to judge the work in this way. The knowledge of the Grail message cannot be grasped by simply glancing through it. It is the sacred responsibility of the human spirit to recognize his God and his laws through which the human being and the entire creation came into existence.